Kristy Swanson returns to the swampy rivers to combat another shark. Let's get into it. Swamp Shark. This is the 2011 shark flick directed by Griff First, who also directed Arachnoquake, Lake Placid 3, Lake Placid vs. Anaconda underneath the pseudonym A.B. Stone, Raging Cajun Redneck Gators, Ghost Shark, Trailer Park Shark, Atomic Shark underneath the pseudonym A.B. Stone, and Nightmare Shark. He loves his creature features, especially those shark movies. But before we get into it, make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page and support me on Patreon. Even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Also hit that notification bell, and as always, subscribe. Alright, let's get into this. The plot. After a smuggled shark escapes into the rivers of Louisiana, it heads off to a one-gator shack. When it consumes a heap of gators and a local bum, the shack and its owners are the suspects. The owner and her family, co-workers, etc. must now head out to stop this unwelcome beast. This was a lot of fun. First of all, I enjoyed all the characters. Everyone was likable, even the bad guys, because they were so much fun to hate. Watson, played by Robert Davi from Maniac Cop 1 and 2, as well as Predator 2, does an awesome job as the shifty-eyed sheriff of the swamp. He is the one who attempts to acquire the smuggled shark for a man who is also involved in this slippery, shady scandal. That's not the only thing fishy about these events, though. Tom, played by D.B. Sweeney, is a guy who seemingly just likes a nice cup of joe at the Gator Shack. He appears seemingly out of nowhere to team up with the owners of the Gator Shack to help hunt down the shark. Then, following that, more layers are revealed. Rachel, played by Kristy Swanson, who also played in Red Water, which I recently just reviewed, I'll leave a link to it up here somewhere, is the owner of the Gator Shack. There's not a lot of quit in her as she goes out to stop this shark. She does have a D-bag boyfriend, Tyler, played by Richard Tan, who really fits the mold of what a controlling jerk of a boyfriend would be like. He was hateable but cheerful at the same time, if that makes any sense. Regardless, he is probably the least enjoyable character in the movie. Rachel has a sister, Crystal, played by Sophie Siness, whose father, Gary Siness, played Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. Crystal is a love her or hate her kind of character. She's a bit snobby, but good-hearted when it counts. Sophie's acting, on the other hand, whew, oh boy. She also has a secret admirer, Martin, played by Jason Rogel, who is sort of the character's go-to when it comes to trying to find out some usually useless trivia. He claims he knows a lot because he watches too much television. I believe him. His brains are what are helpful in this kind of situation. As for the bronze, well, Rachel and Crystal have a brother, Jason, aka Swamp Thing, played by Jeff Chase. He is a lot of fun because he seems to be having a blast with this movie. Speaking of blast, Martin discovers that the shark had been released from some sort of underwater explosion, if I remember correctly. Either that, or it was just discovered deep down somewhere in the depths of the ocean. Anyway, as a result of being at such a low depth, it looks hideous, both in terms of design and presentation. But even with that, that is one of the last positives I have for Swamp Shark. Now I'm going to get into the negatives, but I will talk more about the shark soon enough. There are storylines in this movie that go literally nowhere. We never really see Martin and Crystal or Tom and Rachel hook up. It's frustrating. and makes you want there to be more of a concrete conclusion with these characters. Not only that, but this film does miss some other golden opportunities, with things such as certain kills, and a lack of a memorable movie score. Those aspects make the film enjoyable, yet forgettable. I mean, sure, the film looks nice in terms of presentation. The bayou and other locations pop with color, and the swampy sections are appropriately muddy. Still, this film is a bit of a downer in some regards. The gore, the effects, we get a decapitation when we really should have had two during one scene. A girl gets a rope around her neck and it could have easily cut her head off. But nope. There's also some blood spray and a gory dead body. Also, during the climax, the shark sequences are rather underwhelming. They throw a propane tank into its mouth and they try to shoot it to blow it up and it just shoots out air, which is pretty accurate and hilarious. Speaking of the shark, it's got this light yellow tint to it. Makes it look sick. Barnacle-laden and jagged tooth. This beast is awesome to look at when they use the big shark head. However, 75% of the CGI is pretty poor. I do like the design, but it doesn't really move right. The tail barely moves. It's definitely not the worst CGI I've seen on a shark. Hell, some other Griffith shark movies have much worse CGI, but this could have had a lot better effects. The motion picture soundtrack, I feel a scarier score would have worked in the more suspenseful scenes. Instead, they play up the southern twang. And it does work when it's trying to be energetic and powerful. There are some creepy cues, but other than that, there was perhaps too much life to the soundtrack. I don't hate the music in this movie, but some different choices of music in certain scenes would have made them all the more impactful. This was an okay shark movie. While some of the storylines, gore, CGI, and music could have had a little bit more effort put into them, I was still entertained by this feature. It may be well made and have a few decent kills, or just a couple. However, I cannot ignore the flaws. If you enjoy shark movies like me, and love seeing the practical stuff like the shark heads, a la Two-Headed Shark Attack, Swamp Shark, and some other ones, then this'll be right up your alley. If you're able to just ignore the flaws and turn your brain off, you'll have fun with this one. Still, in my opinion, it could have been better. Have people who were trying to hunt the shark down from the deep depths come in and try to stop it there, but have a clash of the characters, maybe, I don't know, or maybe just tie up your damn storylines. I thought Red Water was better. Overall, I give Swamp Shark a 2 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and I am Brian Gatto, the Horror Show host. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. Like my Facebook fan page and support me on Patreon. Even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Also hit that notification bell, and as always, subscribe.